Welcome to My Long Island TV. From Manhasset to Montauk, we have traveled our communities to bring you the following events. I'm your host, Waldo Cabrera. My Long Island TV starts now.
Bill Shelley comes every month, bringing rare concert footage from his personal collection, and this month is the Beatles. It's just a ton of rare footage of them performing many of their great songs, things that haven't been seen for years from British television, from the film Let It Be, all kinds of stuff.
We're having a festival of the Beatles on film. So what we're doing basically, I have all these film reels like this, and it's never seen footage of the Beatles, so I put it together as a 2-hour show. And I'm just really glad the Cinema Arts Center agreed to do this. You know, it's a really great non-profit theater, and you're gonna see stuff you never saw before. If I hadn't saved them, they would have been thrown out. For years I worked in studios, and they didn't care anything about this. They were so negligent, they told me, if you don't take it, we're gonna throw it in a dumpster. I was always running after reels of film in theaters and things and finding whatever I could, you know, and when theaters closed down, I got to ask them, do you have anything in the basement or studios and stuff? And when the Isley Brothers had a studio in Hempstead, I found out they gave all their films to the church across the street. And then when that closed down, I found the person who took all the films. So we recently found footage of Jimi Hendrix jamming with the Isley Brothers in Hempstead around 1967. This is what the films originally are on, and it's celluloid. And celluloid, the color fades or they get scratched and broken and stuff. God knows who had this before me, but they didn't treat it very well. So you have to take all kinds of chemicals. And I've done stuff with Kodak and George Eastman House, and you learn how to remove scratches, fix the splices, and take the dirt out and clean up the sound. On some of the tracks, I actually put the stereo tracks back onto the performance, just because it sounds better than hearing that scratchy optical sound.
Bill is considered the gem of the cinema right now because just the amount of work he puts in, and also he doesn't make a lot of money, tremendous amount of money doing this type of work. It's just his passion, his love, and we thank him for doing this program at the Cinema Arts Center, and hopefully it'll expand even more for him.
During the productions of Rain and Paperback Writer, it seems that the day he shot those, he hit into something and lost a tooth, and he couldn't go to the dentist for a few days. So you get to see his close-ups of him with this little gap in his teeth.
Did you ever go to a Beatle concert?
No, I was too young. I did have a neighbor that was supposed to go to Shea Stadium. Her name was Valerie. At the last minute, her parents said, no, you can't go. You have to babysit Billy next door. So this kid she had to come to my house and babysit, but we had to watch it on TV, and boy, was she mad. And you know, this is like 45 years later, and she still hasn't forgiven me. So that's the closest I came to a Beatle concert.
My mother made my sisters drag me to the Beatles concert at Shea Stadium. I was probably about 7 or 8 years old, and I realized afterwards it was because I think they wanted to keep my sisters out of trouble, more or less. But I remember being there, and I remember holding my ears the whole time. It was deafening. Yeah, a lot of screaming. It's basically what it was, and then I wanted to go home.
I think everybody really appreciated, seeing clips that had never been seen before. I've never seen that clip before, or even heard about that incident where he lost it or chipped his tooth.
And just going through storage, I found more Beatle footage right here. There's probably about another 20 reels of Beatles films, and we're planning another couple of shows that we're going to be doing hopefully soon enough, as soon as I get to transfer these and clean them up.
But as you know, it takes money to do all this. I do it out of my own pocket. So, you know, it's a labor of love, and I'm just glad to share it with you.
The Beatles always sell out, so if we have another Beatles show, definitely get your tickets in advance. You can purchase them at the box office, but normally we get over 100 people for each showing, and you know, again, it is very crowded. We did have a waiting line for it, and luckily I think we're able to get everyone in. But if you didn't get in, you know, stay tuned. We'll have another show, and you know, get your tickets ahead of time.
This was like perfect with a Beatles rock and roll band following the film, and then letting some of the people dance. It was just like, I thought it was fantastic. It was great.
So you had a good night tonight?
Oh, fantastic, fabulous. Yeah.